pita pocket from Starbucks. Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki. In today's video, I've got some new copycat fast food recipes at home. And these recipes are going to be lower in WeightWatchers points, a little bit more filling because we are picking and choosing the ingredients we're using. I like to use a lot of 0-point foods to bulk these meals up and just make quick and easy options at home that satisfy that craving for fast food. So if you enjoy this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And let me go ahead and tell you what we're gonna be making today. So one of the best things I've done on my weight loss journey is make copycat meals at home, because before I started WeightWatchers in 2020, I was getting fast food out usually 1 to 2 times a day, and I honestly enjoyed it. It was something that I craved because I had it so often. So when I started my weight loss journey, I needed to find some ways to lighten up those options, and it also just saved me money to not go out to these places as often by just using these ingredients at home. Today, we are going to be making one that I've actually had a lot of requests for. It's a pretty basic recipe, but I'm just gonna be sharing my version of how I make it at home. And that's gonna be the KFC bowl. I've got some potatoes here that I got from the farmer's market. These are 0 points on WeightWatchers now, and the base of the bowl is just mashed potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and boil some water with the potatoes in them and let them cook for about 20 to 30 minutes until they're tender. Then I just pop them in my KitchenAid mixer and I mash them that way. It's super quick and easy, and then you can just pour the ingredients into it. So to it, I'm just going to add a tablespoon of butter, a Laughing Cow wedge, some seasonings, and a splash of milk. That'll get all mixed together and I'll have a base for our bowls. Then the other things that come on the bowl, it's got corn, which this is actually from the farmer's market as well. It's some sweet corn. I just took it off the cob and cooked it up. So this is already seasoned. I pretty much just have to reheat it and then add it to the bowl. But you could even use canned corn or roasted frozen corn, whatever you prefer. But that's 0 points on WeightWatchers. There's also chicken on the bowl. So for each one, I'm going to add a serving of this just bare chicken. I feel like this is pretty similar to fast food chicken, and it always just satisfies that craving for it. So I'm just going to pop the serving in the air fryer and let it cook fully. Usually it takes like 10 minutes or so, but the serving for 3 ounces is 4 points on WeightWatchers. Then the bowl is topped with some gravy. I have this brown gravy mix. It's a reduced sodium one, and it's from Walmart. It's just a Great Value brand. So this entire pack is 2 points on WeightWatchers. I'm just gonna make the whole thing. You're supposed to add a cup of cold water to it, but I think I'm going to do a half cup of bone broth and a half cup of water just to add a little extra flavor and protein. It's not much, but it's something. So I'll just cook this on the stove with that, and that'll be the topping of our bowl. The next thing that I'm going to be making is a Taco Bell burrito. It is the Burrito Supreme. In that burrito, first of all, we're starting with a tortilla. And today we're using these large extreme wellness tortillas. These are low carb, high fiber. For one of them, it's 2 points on WeightWatchers, 100 calories. It's got 19 grams of fiber and 6 grams of protein. So each burrito, I'm just going to use one of these. Then in the burrito, it's got the regular ground beef. I've got some cooked taco chicken here that I just made earlier this week. And this is 0 points on WeightWatchers, so very similar to the Taco Bell meat because I actually use the Taco Bell seasoning packets. So I'll add a good amount of that, which will add some protein and make it more filling, but again, 0 points. It also has cheese on it, so I'm going to use 1 to 2 points of this light cheese blend. Usually a half serving's 2 points, so I think that's how much I will do, but I might even just weigh out 1 point and see if it's enough. It also has refried beans, so I'm going to just put these in a bowl and add some seasonings and then just pop it in the microwave to heat it up a little bit. But these are fat-free refried beans, 0 points on WeightWatchers, and they help to add 6 grams of fiber per half cup and 7 grams of protein. The Burrito Supreme also has onion, so I've got half an onion here that I'm just gonna dice up, and then tomato. I've got some tomato from my garden that I'll dice up. It also has light sour cream, which I will add a tablespoon for a point. And then it's got some red sauce. So I've got this Mexican pizza sauce that is just from Walmart, but it's the Taco Bell brand. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this and it won't add any points, but that is going to be how I make the Burrito Supreme. Then the last thing I'm making today is going to be a version of the Starbucks pockets that they recently, or I guess it isn't recent, but I had recently tried them and liked them. They're a good lower point option from Starbucks, but to be honest, there wasn't much filling in them, and it made me kind of crave just making my own at home. They are 5 points and 6 points for the 2 options at Starbucks, which is pretty low point. Mine are gonna be pretty similar to that today, but they'll be much more filling, and I'm gonna try to bulk them up just a little bit more, but still keep them at the same points. So for the flatbreads, I'm using these. For an entire one, it's 2 points on WeightWatchers, so I'll just use one for each type I'm making. And the 2 options they have at Starbucks are falafel and a chicken jalapeño. So for the chicken jalapeno, it's got diced chicken, which I've got these from Sam's Club. I'm just gonna dice one of these up. For the chicken jalapeno one, I'm just gonna mix everything together and then spread it into the pocket and fold it up so it's kind of like creamy and mixed together. But I think for the falafel one, I'll just spread the stuff and I'll explain. For the chicken one, I am gonna mix it with one of these Laughing Cow wedges or Happy Farms. This is the Aldi brand. It's 1 point for this. I also have some jalapenos from the garden I'll chop up. And then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of this light mozzarella cheese and probably some seasoning. So I'll mix that all together, fold it into the pocket, and that'll be the first one. Then the second one is a spicy falafel wrap. And in theirs, they've got falafel. So I am going to heat some of this in the air fryer. I think I might only need like 1 or 2 pieces. For one of them, it is 1 point on WeightWatchers. For 2, it's 3, so that will bump it up a little higher, but I'm gonna see how big I wanna make this wrap. Then I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of this basil pesto hummus for 1 point on WeightWatchers. They also have roasted red peppers, so I'm gonna strain some of these out and chop them up. And then I think I'm gonna add some feta cheese as well. They don't have feta in theirs, but they have a sauce that they add, so I think that this will be good, and I'm just gonna make it how I would with the ingredients that I have. But like I said, this just helps me to satisfy those cravings, but in nice filling portions and in a quick and easy way using the ingredients that I like to use to stay on track with my journey. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the potatoes boiling first and then get some stuff started in the air fryer. I made sure to wash the potatoes first, and then I just add them to this pot. I added a good amount of salt and then some cold water. When boiling potatoes like this for mashed potatoes, it's important to put them in the cold water first and then bring them to a boil. It just helps them to cook a little more evenly, and then the outsides don't get mushy too quickly. I also wanted to get the gravy started, so I just emptied the packet, and then I have a half cup of bone broth and a half cup of water. You could also just do a full cup. I just decided to do this so that it didn't add extra points. I started getting the chicken jalapeno filling ready first. I always end up just putting the Laughing Cow in the bowl first in case I decided to heat it up, because then it just makes it a little easier to mix, but I had left it out for a little so it had already softened. So once I chop up the jalapeno, I add it to the bowl as well as the mozzarella cheese, and then I've got this grilled chicken breast from Sam's Club. It's already fully cooked, and always just a nice option to chop up like this and add to meals because it's just ready to go. But then I add a little bit of this garlic jalapeno seasoning and I just mix it together. You can see I kind of have to push it down with the spatula so that the Laughing Cow fully mixes, but once it's all combined, I can put it into the wrap. And it was super easy. I should have centered this a little bit more in the middle, but once I had all the filling in the middle, I just folded in the sides and then the other sides, and you can see I was struggling at first. I had to kind of push it down, but it all fit in there perfectly. Before I started chopping the roasted red pepper for this wrap, I did put it on a paper towel so that it could dry out just a little bit. They come in a jar of water, and I didn't want it to add any extra liquid to the actual wrap, so I spread out the serving of hummus, then I add the roasted red peppers. Then I had to make a decision whether I wanted 1 or 2 falafel on this, so I had air fried 2, and I was just going to use one of them, but I did decide to add both just to bulk it up a little bit more. It's one of the annoying things about WeightWatchers when an item is 1 point for 1 and then 2 for 3 points, and that's how the falafel were, so I didn't want to add a bunch of extra points, but I realized it was worth it to just make this a little more filling. So I sprinkled on the feta cheese, and then I just folded up this wrap as well. And I just put those to the side. I'm going to heat them up on the stove in a little, but in a KitchenAid bowl, I put the butter and the Laughing Cow, and then I put the hot potatoes on top so it can start to melt it. I let it sit for a minute or so, and then I started blending it up with my KitchenAid mixer. Then I added in some different seasonings, so a good amount of salt and pepper, some garlic powder, and then I continued to mix that while I added the fat-free milk. I gave the potatoes a quick taste test and realized they needed a little extra seasoning, so I also added some onion salt and garlic powder to them. And I actually like some chunks in my mashed potatoes, so I just blend it until it's the consistency that I want it, usually with a few little chunks, but nice and smooth as well. Then I was on to the burritos, so these really took no time. I just had to quickly chop up this half of an onion that I had and a tomato, which is from the garden. I opened the can of fat-free refried beans and I just wanted to season them a little bit, so I added some salt and pepper to those, as well as a little bit of taco seasoning and then some garlic salt. I just mixed the beans up to combine the seasonings, and then they're ready to go onto the tortillas. So I've got 2 large extreme wellness wraps. I'm making Adam and I each our own burrito. The beans are 0 points. I add maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons onto each wrap, and then I start adding some of the taco seasoned ground chicken that I had. And whenever I make things like this, it works with whatever meat I have on hand. So sometimes it's ground chicken, ground turkey, and sometimes I even just use ground beef. I add a tablespoon of light sour cream to each burrito for 1 point, and I just kind of spread it out with a knife. Then I just add the rest of the ingredients, so the chopped onion, chopped tomato, a little bit of shredded Mexican blend cheese, and I just get the light one from Trader Joe's, and then some of that spicy Mexican pizza taco sauce that I just get from Walmart. Sometimes I use my griddler to give these a nice grill on each side, but I didn't feel like getting that out today, so I just heated them up in a pan and it worked perfectly fine. Then my chicken was done in the air fryer, so I was ready to assemble the KFC bowls. I've got my base of mashed potatoes, and then I added a good amount of this leftover sweet corn I just had in the fridge. Then I've got my just bare chicken bites that came out of the air fryer, so I'm just using some kitchen scissors to chop those up into bite-sized pieces. I sprinkle some of the same cheese that I used on the burrito, and then I top it with some drizzles of the gravy that I made. And then once the burritos are nice and toasty, I take those out and I just heated up the falafel pocket and chicken pocket the exact same way. Okay, everything is done. First up, we've got the KFC bowl, which, first of all, this is such a nice portion. From the potatoes that I made, the mashed potatoes, I got 4 servings. So this serving is 2 points for the potatoes on WeightWatchers. I've got 4 points of the just bare chicken. The corn is 0 points. I put a 1 point serving of light shredded cheese blend on there, and then I've got 1 point of the gravy. So that makes this bowl a total of 8 points on WeightWatchers. The regular bowl from KFC is usually 14 points, which honestly isn't that high, but this is a really big portion. It's super filling, and again, we get to control what goes in it, and it satisfies that craving at the same time. So this is 8 points total for the KFC bowl. Then we've got the Starbucks COPYCAT pita pockets. So this is the falafel one. It is actually 7 points on WeightWatchers, which the one from there is 6 points, but like I said, this is a much bigger portion. I think this is like double the size of the one that we got from there. I was honestly kind of disappointed at the lack of filling, but I've got 1 point of hummus. The actual wrap is 2 points for the entire thing. I've got 3 points of falafel. I ended up using 2 of them for 3 points. I wish it was just a point apiece, but it isn't. So it is 3 points for 2. I did 1 point of feta cheese and then 0 points of roasted red peppers. Then the jalapeno grilled chicken one is 4 points total on WeightWatchers. The chicken breast is 0 points, the jalapeno 0, the flatbread is 2 points. Then I did 1 of the garlic and herb wedges, which is 1 point, and 1 point of light mozzarella. So 4 points total for this one. So here is my burrito supreme from Taco Bell, and this actually comes out to 4 points total on WeightWatchers. The original one from there is 10 points, so 4 points instead of 10, and it's at least the same size, if not a little bit bigger, but it's 2 points for the extreme wellness tortilla, 1 for the light sour cream, and 1 for the reduced fat cheese that I used. And we're gonna go ahead and try some of these things really quick. You ready, Adam?
Oh, I'm ready.
So which one do you want to start with? We got the cheesy jalapeno, falafel, or the burrito?
I kind of want to do the burrito first.
Okay, so we've got our burrito supreme. I cut yours, so
Thank you.
cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love the tomato and onion on there,
Yeah.
but the refried beans are really good.
I was definitely gonna say the onion is really good on there.
Yep. And we've got the falafel.
This thing is
Isn't it pretty
stuffed.
big?
I was gonna say it's
Remember how
stuffed.
disappointed we were at how small it was?
Yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Is that good?
That's really good.
Honestly, the roasted red peppers make it, and the boar's head basil hummus.
So good.
Okay, now the cheesy jalapeno. Cheers.
Cheers. How'd you get that so creamy?
Laughing Cow Wedge, or...
It's so good.
Yeah, and this jalapeno has got a little kick to it, actually. The ones from the garden haven't been too spicy this year, but some of them randomly are.
Yeah.
This one's pretty good.
That's very good.
Okay, that wraps up everything for this Copycat fast food at home recipe video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful and try some of these out. If there's anything else you want to see me remake, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. We always love doing these at home and especially eating them. Yeah.
Yes, especially eating them.
I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm sweating right now. I don't know why. I can see it reflecting in the camera. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.